Hey everybody, you are tuned in to Hanging with Here to Zen, the show that is a place for people who love all kinds of music. We really hope you enjoy your time with us today. Make sure you hit subscribe if you already haven't, and hit that notification bell to be kept up to date. We would love to hear from you over on our social media platforms, so just search Here to Zen and you'll find us. Lastly, could you leave us a review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify or Google Podcasts, or wherever you're going to be tuning in from? Those reviews help other people to find us, so we appreciate the reviews and the support. Thanks so much for tuning in. How are ya?
Yeah. Good, man. Good. Just knocked off the day job, ready to do some rock and roll.
Public holiday in Brisbane. Yes.
Oh, nice.
Yep.
Our guitarist is from Brisbane, actually. So we're Sydney based, but we've got a Brisbane guitarist.
I'm a Sydney boy living in Brisbane, so
There you go.
yeah, go Western Sydney.
Yeah, that's where I'm at. I'm in
Yeah,
Parramatta.
I'm a Liverpool boy.
Oh, okay. Yep.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, well, so we have a new EP coming out 22nd of September, As Within, So Without. Where does that title come from?
So it's basically well, the record is a direct follow up and a bit of like a sister sibling record to the one we put out. I think it's 2 years ago now. That was As Above, So Below.
Mhm.
It flows on from that. As Within, So Without. They were definitely written as one record, which we ended up deciding to split into two, which has done us well. It's lasted us because then COVID happened and we're like,
Yep.
oh God. So at least we had some content up our sleeves, I guess. Yeah, it was a fortuitous decision to split them, I think. And I guess that's the way a lot of it's going. A lot of bands are putting out smaller kind of records at the moment, even if just singles, or short EPs. So yeah, seems to be the way it is.
So you've had this in the can for basically 3 years.
So yeah, we have had it in the can, yeah, and we've done a few things to it. With this one, we actually got a guest on one song. My mate Chris from Thy Art Is Murder came in and did that, and that wasn't on the original one, so that only happened in the last year or so. So there were some changes made, but ultimately, yeah, it's been something. This is the end of a long journey for us. This story that we've been telling with these two records.
Have you kept the original of Still Breathing up your sleeve for a bonus track?
Yeah, we were talking about that actually. Good. Yeah, we do have it. Yeah. So we're thinking, oh, what can we use with this one day and call it like the version, version A or something. Or yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, we do have it. Yeah.
that's that's good. And you're right. A lot of people are releasing smaller quantities of music at the moment, and I think it's just based down to one, some bands that aren't financially ready to put out full albums, but also we've gone into a society where people just can't consume music the way they used to, so it's easier.
Absolutely. And attention spans are shorter.
Yep.
It's all about, yeah, just a quick listen. No one really listens to full albums all the way through. It's just all about the single and the playlist. And yeah, totally.
If you had to pick an album that you could go to right now and go the whole way through, be it yours or anyone, what do you think you could consume right now, front to back?
Oh, for me, it would be, good question, man. Probably the first Mr. Bungle record, self-titled with, yeah.
Yep.
That's my go-to actually. I absolutely love that front to back. Yeah.
For me, it's Appetite for Destruction every time.
Yep.
It's
Nice.
the one I know I can put on and not skip a song.
Yeah. Yeah, I've got
Yes.
there's a few like that. Yeah. Yeah, it's a bit sad that the listening to the whole having the experience of the journey of a whole record's kind of not happening for the in this day and age, but yeah, it's definitely something that was special for me growing up.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. But see, we are probably from the time where going to a record store was still a thing, and it wasn't like just going to get clothes in your local Westfield. It was almost a ceremonial thing, a release day purchase, you know,
Yep.
down to Utopia. I remember when Utopia do the midnight opens
Oh yeah.
and you'd be freezing in the middle of Sydney in winter if there was a release, but it made it all worth it.
Yeah, absolutely. Just that experience of going into a record store and flipping through covers and something would jump out at you and you'd have to buy it on a guess, or I had one really cool record store where I don't know if that you remember when they had you could ask to like listen to it on a
Yeah,
CD
yeah,
player that they had, and you go put headphones on
yep.
and be like, oh man, I've discovered so much cool music that way. Yeah.
Imagine how bad they'd have to sanitize the headphones now. We wouldn't have cared back then.
That's right. Yeah.
It's like, give me the headphones.
Yeah, because I remember Utopia had those listening stations. There were like four of them around one of the pillars when it was on George Street.
Yeah, yeah.
And you go in there and yeah, just let's switch headphones. Yeah, but now you mention it, not very sanitary.
No, and that's the thing. Before COVID, we wouldn't have cared about grabbing someone else's shopping trolley, putting a set of headphones on. But as kids, we shared earbuds.
Yeah, that's right.
Now you'd be like looking at the person next to you going, not likely.
No way.
So what are you guys doing in the terms of the digital realm for the release of the EP? Like everyone's about visualizers or lyric videos. What's it going to be for Our Last Enemy?
So we're actually doing a bit of both. So we've put out two singles basically from the record. So Slay for Me came out a couple of months ago now, and that had a video that we shot, like a full budget one. It was like a little mini movie. We shot that with the Blackley brothers from Her Name Is Murder Productions, and we've worked with them many times, and they're really good, professional working unit. They had extras and makeup and crew and everything, so it was a proper shoot. And yeah, so that was there to support that. And then with that song, well, the Still Breathing, which had Chris from Die Art on it, was never intended to be dropped as a single or come out before the EP. But when he came in and did that performance, we're like, oh, we want to put this out, and highlight it. So that one had a bit of a visualizer element for it. Yeah, so we didn't really budget for a full clip for that. So we've done the visualizer, we've done the full clip. We have just finished a third clip, and we're going to be announcing that pretty soon as well after the show's coming up. And that'll be the last kind of thing that comes out before the actual full EP. But like you said, digitally, it's going to be on all platforms. But we are doing a very limited edition run of CDs. I think it's only 100. So we still have fans who buy CDs, which is cool. And it's something we want. We always love to have that physical copy in our hand.
Yep.
And we still manage to sell them at shows. Like people still buy them at shows. So it's not a huge market anymore, as you know, but there is people that still want it. So we're kind of going down both avenues, man. We're doing the bit of digital and a bit of physical as well.
The one thing I'm noticing at shows, we're getting out and covering a lot of shows. T-shirt sales are through the roof at the moment, like crazy merch lines at the moment, which is good.
It's
so
great.
When you hit with Avatar, we have merch available.
Yeah. We've just organised all that now. We've got sorting through everything we have. So we've got lots of stuff that we'll be selling at Avatar, which is going to be great. And yeah, like you said, you're generally making double or more than what your show fee is off your merch. That's where the real money is. So we really appreciate when everyone buys a shirt.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, that for some bands that can be their fuel tank money for the next gig, kind of thing, or gets them a hotel rather than a van sleep.
Yeah, it's absolutely true.
Yeah, like I know of one band that used to put tents on the side of the road, and if they made enough money off merch, it was into a hotel. If not, they slept in the tent.
Wow. Yep. That's the road life.
Road life. How much of the EP do you think you're going to pop? You're going to have a shorter set with Avatar than what you'd normally play headlining, but how many songs from the new EP do you think will pop in?
It's funny, mate. I just had a conversation. We're still deciding the final set list at the moment, but we're practicing pretty much all of the songs on the record. So potentially we could be playing the whole thing. I don't know if we will, but we're definitely playing a bunch from it and stuff that's not out yet as well. So it's going to be it's going to be awesome for those people who've seen us a bunch of times. You're going to see some really brand new stuff for the first time. Anyone who's never seen us before, you're going to see a mixture of. It's going to be all new to them, but yeah.
So how long have you got? 45 minutes, an hour?
To be honest, we're not 100% sure. Like it can be 30 minutes for these things, So it's going to be at least 30 to 45. So we should get a decent amount of songs in. And on these things, you just kind of punch them out. You just get straight in, song after song. You want to get as many out there for the time you have with that great audience that you have got the benefit of playing to, thanks to all the guys involved.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like when you're the opening band, the stage raps have to take a back seat because they can chew up they can potentially be a whole song
Yeah.
that you're going to miss. So
Yep.
understand what you're saying. Just punch them out is the best way to be.
Mm.
What's the plans after the release of the EP? So you'll be done with the Avatar tour. EP will be out. What are your plans for the rest of 23?
So we've got a whole bunch more shows that we've just confirmed, and we're finalising a few others. So there's going to be a run of shows all around the country. So we haven't announced anything yet, but like I know there's a few booked in, so we'll probably have some more. I can see October and November is pretty busy, so we'll probably do some kind of launch run of shows. But we want to keep going because I think our last show we did, we were supporting Powerman 5000 when they came out in end of January. And this is the first one since then. So we want to keep that momentum going. So we're just going to do a bunch of shows. And we've already started writing another record, so that's going to be happening as well.
Okay, that's probably more into the 24 kind of realm, though. Really not
Absolutely,
in
yeah.
the studio this year, you think?
I don't think so. No, as I say, we're writing. We've got ideas. We've got some riffs. There's a folder there with stuff, but there's no. I don't think they're ever considered songs yet. But the wheels are in motion. Yeah.
Are you guys like a Dropbox band where you just get a shared folder and you just pop stuff in and see what comes out?
Yeah, well, I know a lot of bands became that way by necessity over lockdowns, etc. But we'd already we'd already started working that way because I think I mentioned to you before, our guitarist is actually from Brisbane, and we're a Sydney-based band. So that's kind of hard. So he flies down every so often for some rehearsals and obviously for gigs. But other than that, we had to learn more digital ways to do it. Yeah, with the shared folder and dropping things in and doing things at our homes.
Does that make it more difficult when you don't have that face-to-face interaction when it comes to writing?
Yeah, it's a mixed bag because sometimes I feel that way. Like I love having that someone in the room, to bounce off or to get feedback. But it's also cool that you can take your own time to do it and do your own ideas. But one thing that we started doing, we found a program which is basically like a Zoom kind of call program where someone could be basically in the room with you and also mixing the recording while it's going, so they can be changing EQs and all that kind of stuff and hitting record and hitting stop. So it's almost that dynamic of being in the studio again, but it's just one person's on the other side of the country. And so that kind of gave a little bit of that vibe back of being together, I guess. Yeah.
Oh, that's actually quite cool. I'd love to see that. Maybe you should have someone record that as a fly in the wall thing to give people a bit of an insight.
Yeah, it's cool idea.
What's the song off this EP that you're really looking forward to hitting on the Avatar tour with?
Off this EP, yeah. So we've never played. I think we've played one of them before. And we road tested it, but all of them we haven't really played. So I'm really keen to see how Slave for Me goes, which was the first single off it, because we've never seen how that a crowd will react to that. So keen on that one. But there's one on there called Bless the Fall, which is a real thrashy banger, and I know our guitarist is pushing for us to play that one. So I think everyone's pretty pumped for that one. It's pretty up tempo. Really punch in the face kind of vibe, which I think will be good for a show like this. So probably Bless the Fall or Slave for Me.
Now, everyone's got like certain things they do before a show to be ready. Some people just like to be left alone. Some people are really social. Some people have their rituals. What is it for you, your pre-show routine?
Yeah, oh, good one. So we probably like to be I like to just chill out in the green room if there is one, and have some time to myself. And I obviously do vocal warm-ups, and I love to have a drink, or just one drink. We found out over the years it's better not to have too many. I like to have a drink to take the edge off, and just prep. We stretch because we love to go crazy, and just kind of psych ourselves into it. We're a bit of a theatrical band, we've got makeup and stuff, so we're doing all that kind of stuff, getting ready and getting in those characters and in that zone. So yeah, probably some time to myself in the green room is what I like. Yeah.
Cool. You'll have to let me know before Brizzy. I'll be there shooting. So
Okay.
if you want some pre-show photos, get your makeup ready. I'll do it for you. I shoot for Kiss, so I know how to take photos of guys in makeup.
Nice.
Yeah. The live shows for a lot of bands, in my opinion, have really changed since we've been back from COVID. It's become a different kind of urgency. I think a lot of bands became complacent pre-COVID and then realized what they'd missed out. So what's the one thing you took away from the forced break that you bring into your life within the band and now the band now?
Oh, it was just, I think it was a little bit of like taking it for granted, I guess. Like when you know, oh, we do this all the time. It's fun, but yeah, it's always there. And then having that time, like years actually, of it, like you not being able to do it, and like, what if I could never do it again? That kind of fear, I guess, or realization. So in a way, it made us really appreciate, the live circuit. And it's like we kicked back into it last year, and we're trying to really push for this year and next year to keep going. It's been like there was a bit of a boom. I don't know if you noticed. So after COVID, it was like boom, and everyone came back, and that was great. But that now it's kind of teetering off again, if you know what I mean. Like we've had a bit of gig overload with so many internationals coming, so many festivals, and you're seeing a lot of festivals and stuff saying, "Oh, I can't do this year. We're shutting down," because it's kind of petered off a little bit, I guess. So there's that initial, "Yay, we're back," and then there's a kind of a lull coming in. But yeah, we're really excited to do things like, shows with big bands like Avatar, because that's great, because we know there's going to be a decent crowd and we know people are coming out to internationals. Yeah, so yeah, it was interesting. It was good to see it come back, but I'm kind of seeing a bit of a kind of a lull-ish, I guess. Maybe a bit of a gig overload for people, and they're so much money. The cost of living as well. There's only so much money to go around, and there's a new international every week coming out because they can now.
Yeah. Yeah, I must admit there was a point where I felt we were getting force fed tours just for the sake of tours, and now it's, don't get me wrong, I love it. I'm
Yeah.
stoked to see. It doesn't matter what kind of genre it is. I'm just happy to see bands doing the thing. But yeah, it was kind of like you said, like, oh, what's today's international tour going to be? And I can see 2024 being a little bit more sparse for the bigger bands, which will be great because there's those mid-level bands and where guys like you will get really good supports.
Yeah.
That will shine through 2024 and keep you guys busy. So hopefully you guys get a good run with those mid-level bands.
Absolutely.
So as we finish up tonight, I want you to do your whole sales spiel about the EP, the tour. Give us the whole rundown, the buy now.
Yep, no worries. Well, our new EP, As Within, So Without, dropping September 22nd. You can pre-order a limited edition physical copy, which comes with a t-shirt, which is also a limited edition. So jump on that, pre-order that. They're available now. We've got, obviously, we're touring with Avatar at the end of the month from Sweden, which we're pumped about. We've got a whole bunch of more shows to announce very soon. And like I said before, a new clip is in the bag. We've also got another video clip coming out to keep your eyes on that one.
Awesome, Ollie. I'll see you up here with Avatar. Thanks for your time, mate. And congrats on the EP. It's a ripper.
Thanks, Andrew. Did Chris send it to you?
Yeah, got it. Been having a bit of a rip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. So you knew what I was talking about when I said bless the fool. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
sweet.
yeah. I've had it for about a day or two, but public holiday, just flogging it.
Nice. Awesome, man. Really appreciate it. And thanks for having me on, man.
No worries, man. See you in Brisbane.
Appreciate it. Cheers, mate. Bye.